Hello everyone, got another tire video for you today, and this is going to be a pretty big Vittoria tire roundup video. I'll start off with these new tires. There's really not much info on these as far as review go. These are the Vittoria Mostro Race version, and I'll come over here and get you a good shot of the tread pattern. Some people say these are very dissector-ish. They are not. I get that the kind of the big center 2 3 2 3 looks dissector-ish. These side knobs are much beefier than a dissector, and these middle knobs are definitely taller and a little beefier as well. Although I will say, first thing I noticed with these tires, because they are a soft compound, this is the 1C. The tread is just one soft compound all the way through. It is not the 4C Vittoria compound that they're so known for. I did not expect... I expected these to feel more like an Asegi, maybe a Butcher T9, something like that. I had some V tires that used the full 40 compound, or top 40, or whatever their downhill compound is. I don't know if it's the silica or the graphene or whatever voodoo Vittoria talks about being in their tires, but for a tire with a soft, true downhill compound, I think these have class-leading roll speed for being as aggressive as they are. These are some very aggressive side knobs, especially. The center tread is, it's right there with like an Asegi, pretty much. They might be slightly shorter knobs, but they've got more spacing between them than like the Continentals. But whatever voodoo they've got going on, for a truly soft gummy compound, these roll shockingly fast. It took me a while. I've kind of been out of sorts. We had a baby a couple months ago, back in May, and I just really haven't had the aggression, the speed that I've had before. Not that I was terribly fast, but it took me a while to kind of just get confident and really push these tires. But I've had several days at Shepherd Mountain on them, and I'm really coming around to liking them, and have found that when I just trust them and let the bike go, they have not let me down. Especially the cornering knobs. I mean, you can really lay this thing over, these tires over, and let them do their jobs. As far as wear goes, I know I haven't had a ton of time, but at Shepherd, you don't need. Man, looks actually, I know it looks like they're, there's some braking wear in there. I am actually surprised that none of these side knobs are cut. I think that is the one thing Vittoria tires do very well, is they resist tearing compared to equivalent use case tires. They don't deaden the trail quite as much as like a Max Grip compound does. You will feel a little more vibration, but so far so good on the grip. I would be comfortable running these in the wet for sure. Wish I would have had them on several weeks ago, the last time I raced. That would have been nice. But I think these are a pretty good all-round choice. I've never run the Mazza in the 1C Enduro Race compound, but man, I don't know if I really feel the need to go that route. These tires would be great for a place that's kind of gravelly. You have more of that spacing. I'm really trying hard to figure out where I would run these and where I'd run the Mazza, because I don't think they're that... I mean, I know the tread pattern's different, but to me, they both have a lot of open space in the tread pattern, and I'm thinking, well, why would I choose one in the race compound over the other? So that might be another video for another day to kind of figure that out. I might reach out to Vittoria and see what they say, or do some research on their website. But another thing about these tires, though, they go about construction a little differently, and they are definitely, I mean, they're just as heavy as any downhill tire on the market. As far as I can tell, they're right there, probably around 1,500 grams. Once you get the bike pointed downhill, and the fact that they roll so well, to me, they were less of a chore to get moving than some of the max grip stuff I've ridden before that might weigh a little less, just because they aren't, sorry, I had a bug on my leg. They aren't, I don't know, they just let go of the ground in a way. They don't roll nearly as bad as like the V rubber tires I had. Those always felt like I was really pushing through Play-Doh. And then, to be honest with you, these grip just as well. So maybe there is some magic in that compound formula. The silica and graphene stuff they do, I don't really know exactly how it works, but I think there is something to it. But the construction, there's an anti-flat insert from bead to bead on these things. They are stout. I know I'm a little worried when I see that much open tread space for punctures, but man, I really am not worried about it on these at all. I think I will be surprised if I get a flat. I've seen a lot of Continentals, even the downhill casing, get punctured, but this goes about it using, I think there's like an aramid or plastic, whatever, insert that goes literally all the way around. And so you add that on top of the extra bead protection. I mean, who knows? Anything could happen, but if you're looking for a durable downhill tire that probably rolls better than most, give these a shot. I would be surprised if you don't find that they're more durable than anything else. I haven't really gotten them into super wet conditions to see how they do there. But I can't think of a reason why they wouldn't do just as well as like a Specialized T9 or a Max Grip, or at least be very close in that ballpark. So that's it for the Mostro Race. Yeah, it's a downhill tire. What are you going to do? All right, so here on my Trance, this is my short travel bike. It's only 120, 130. Usually I have more of a cross-country tire setup going on. But as you can see, here I've got the new Mezcal Race. And it's off the bike because I have found true cross-country race casings just cannot hold up to me, my weight, and where I ride. I usually ride this bike the most somewhere like, it's called the Berryman Trail. It's part of the Ozark Trail here in Missouri. And it is just a lot of loose, raw. It's not steep. It's not overly technical, but just the rocks that are there, they can cut sidewalls. And that's exactly what happened on this Mezcal Race. I got a puncture right in the top of the Peyote Race, and it was killing. I mean, I had two what were planned to be big rides that just, I was literally 1 mile into one of them and maybe a third of a mile into the other, and just had to go back to the truck, go home. So what I did is I took these Mazza Enduro and Martello Enduro off of this bike because I found out that these, while they roll really fast and they're great dry weather tires, they are still essentially a cross-country compound in a trail tire body. The casing on these, it's double 120. It's similar to what like a Maxxis double down would be. I think they might be a little stouter than that, to be honest with you, but that's what they say. But these are the 4C compound. I don't know where it says that on here. Graphene Enduro 29. Okay. The 4C compound that Vittoria uses, it's the same 4C compound that's in this thing. Just totally different tread pattern, but they're essentially using the same rubber, which is why these roll still so well, even though they just weigh more, they're more durable. They roll a little slower just because the knobbies are bigger, so they're digging in deeper. So I put these on this bike, and I'm going to leave them on here to train basically until BT Epic Time, which is a 52.5 mile race. And then I will put on the gray wall trail casing. I think I'm going to go Mezcal rear, and I'm going to try the Agaro up front just to have less weight, more roll speed. The Mazza I still love. If I was a one bike trail rider guy, and wasn't worried about punctures and wasn't dedicated to racing of any kind, I'd probably go with a trail Mazza up front and something like an Agaro rear, or even Martello rear, or another Mazza rear. I love the way these corner, which makes me think eventually I'll try the Mazza Race to pair with the Mostro, because Vittoria's side knobs, I love them. I mean, you can really trust them. You can lay this bike over. If it's dry conditions, you can crank the Mazzas over and just let it go, and it will hold. And I've done it in loose gravel. I mean, I love it. I've done other videos on it. Not much to say. Now the Martello, this is probably going to be the last Martello for me. I don't think I'm going to buy one again, and I'll show you why. Here's why. Is the main reason is, you see how fat these side knobs are and how close together they are? The Martello, to Vittoria's credit, it's not their fault. I don't, pay attention, or at least believe them when they say this is meant to be a hard pack tire. And by golly, if you get it on some hard pack, you can lay it over and those knobs are not going to squirm. But they're so tightly spaced, they're not super tall, and they're so thick that I just don't feel like they grab. If I'm, a lot of the stuff I ride is almost kind of a gravelly surface over hard, and the side knobs just don't penetrate the gravelly stuff. Now it rolls super fast. I mean, the center knobs are not that big. They're pretty small. It's still a 4C compound. So, I mean, this thing rolls. Rolls like a cross-country tire. It's just heavier and more durable. It's going to be fine for me for training. It's still more grip than any cross-country tire has, because the knobbies are actually doing their job. But I probably just won't buy one again for my purposes. It's just not quite aggressive enough for enduro racing to me, but it's also, for where I live, it's too gravelly. If I lived somewhere, let's say up in the Midwest, like Kansas City region, where there's more dirt that gets hard pack, Indiana, somewhere like that, I'd probably run the Martello. But there's just so many places I ride, the turns, even when they were built, they might have been nice packed dirt when they were built, like Steelville, but now they're kind of loose gravelly. The Mazza just is way more confident in those conditions, and so is the Mostro. I mean, I could totally see myself getting the if I wanted a durable tire that rolls fast, maybe the enduro version of the Mostro, and not the Enduro Race that has that 4C compound. I'm sure they will roll very fast. As far as these new cross-country tires go, I'll just reiterate, if you're thinking about the Mezcal Race or the new Peyote Race, and you are a cross-country racer and you're used to this sort of tire, and the way you ride, and maybe you weigh a lot less than me, I'm in 195. Traction is fine. I was like, the ride quality, the traction on it, all that kind of stuff, I had no issues with that. No issues with it at all. Which is why I will get another Mezcal. I'm just going to get a more durable casing. And I'm probably going to get an Agaro front, just because I don't think that it's going to roll much slower on the front, and I would rather have a little more grip and confidence in the front so that I can go faster down the hills. But other than that, I just need a more durable casing. That's it. Didn't work for me, probably working for a lot of people. I mean, the folks at these tire companies know what they're doing. So that's it on the Vittoria Roundup. Mostro Race, definitely A-okay with me. Might try the Mazza Race in the future. If you will live somewhere with a lot of really loose or deep soft dirt, probably don't go with the Martello. If you live somewhere with a lot more bike parky hard pack, Martello is going to roll real fast and be great for you. Mazza, I mean, that is the do-it-all. This is your, Max Terra DHF, but improved in every way, is my opinion. So thanks for watching.